Hello and welcome to SUAANGAN. I'm your host, Des Lorraine. On today's program, we'll show you Bryan Trottier's tour of the Inuvialuit Settlement Region.
Bryan Trottier is Métis, originally from Val-Marie, Saskatchewan. He played in the NHL for 18 seasons, and along with many awards, he won 6 Stanley Cups as a player, and was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1997. Bryan Trottier's list of awards and achievements are too numerous to be able to discuss them all in one half-hour program. So we asked him to tell us about the most memorable moment of his career.
It was when Bobby Nystrom scored the overtime goal against the Philadelphia Flyers in the 1980 Stanley Cup Finals. It was in overtime, and I was on the bench. I didn't make a pass. I didn't have anything to do with the play. But it was the one moment, as soon as that puck went over the line, when I was a champion. I was a Stanley Cup champion for the first time. And when you're a little boy and you have your dreams about playing in the National Hockey League and that happens, that's an exciting day. But when you're the champion and you get to raise the Stanley Cup over your head and you dream about that, that is so exciting. And it's the #1, beyond anything else, the most memorable moment, because I can just remember, like, all my senses come to a peak at that moment, you know, like your vision is grasping the moment and you just don't want to miss anything. And you can feel the names and that are engraved on the Stanley Cup, and you can remember everything about that moment. You know, hugging everybody. There was a lot of real neat things, and reading people's lips in the stands. Like, there was people that were like 25 rows up that, you know, you're like walking around and you raise your hands into the crowd, and somebody in the 25th row would be screaming, "I love you," and it was fun reading their lips, and that was a very special moment in my life. The #1 beyond anything.
As we mentioned earlier, Bryan received many awards over the course of his career. We can't show you all of them, but here are some amazing highlights.
(1974) World Junior Tournament. 1975 WCJHL First Team All-Star. 1976 NHL Calder Memorial Trophy Rookie of the Year. Played in the Challenge Cup. NHL Art Ross Trophy winner, leading scorer regular season. NHL Hart Trophy MVP regular season. (1980) Conn Smythe Trophy winner. 1989 King Clancy Memorial Award. As a player, Bryan Trottier won 6 Stanley Cups, 4 with the New York Islanders from 1980 to 1983, and 2 with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 1991 and 1992. On November 11, 1997, Bryan Trottier was given the highest honor in his sport when he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. In 1999, Bryan Trottier was honored with the Aboriginal Achievement Award.
The Inuvialuit Development Corporation sponsored Mr. Trottier's tour of the ISR. IDC is the business arm of the Inuvialuit Regional Corporation. They have various businesses in 4 sectors: transportation, construction and manufacturing, real estate, and engineering. Ross McDonald is the president of the Inuvialuit Development Corporation. He gives us an overview of the organization.
Inuvialuit Development Corporation was formed back in '76, I believe, with a seed money that started from about $10 million, which came from the land claim. IDC is a very successful organization, and its success sometimes is not very well understood by the constituents in the ISR. So we've got businesses, we've got nearly 20 private sector investments across Canada and to a limited extent in the United States. In 2002, we did almost $200 million in revenue. We had a record year in profits where we produced net profits over $6 million. We had on our employment something in the neighborhood of 450 beneficial shareholders. And we really are one of the most successful businesses in the ISR overall. Some of the more high-profile businesses you've heard of, probably Norterra, Canadian North, NTCL, Stanton's.
Wayne Gordon is the chair of IDC's board. He tells us the purpose of Mr. Trottier's tour of the Inuvialuit Settlement Region.
Brian brought a message for all the young children, you know, to the different communities, and I think that's what we wanted to do as IDC, you know, be more visible to the people and, you know, show them that we're interested in their communities and wanted to do something for them.
How did the relationship between IDC and the Hockey Hall of Famer begin? We asked Ross how he came to know of Brian's skills as a public speaker.
Well, I was at a Aboriginal Energy Summit in Calgary several months ago, and I watched Brian speak to a group of 600 energy executives with 15 minutes notice. And I was kind of staggered by the poise and the composure that he exuded on the stage. And he talked about his pride in who he was and his Aboriginal heritage, his roots and his culture. And he just seemed to demonstrate such self-esteem that I thought it would be a terrific connection if we could bring him out to the communities and have him talk to the children. And of course, through the children, the parents, of course, probably had seen him playing hockey and knew who he was. So it would be a very positive type of publicity event, indirectly marketing IDC's name and image.
I was very, very excited to take the message to the children and to the communities and to participate in a lot of the activities around the area. Was a unique experience for me. So I think I gained more from coming up here and enjoying the western part of the Northwest Territories than even the people enjoy seeing me, a former National Hockey Leaguer, to come up here and sign some autographs and chat about my hockey experiences in the NHL. It was a unique opportunity and I think a very well worth exercise for me personally.
When SUAANGAN returns, we'll talk with Brian about his visit to each of the communities in the ISR. The Inuvialuit are the only Indigenous group of Inuit in the Northwest Territories. The Inuvialuit Settlement Region is comprised of 6 communities: Aklavik, Inuvik, Tuk, Sax Harbor, Paulatuk, and Holman. Bryan Trottier toured the ISR and tells us of his experience visiting some of the most remote communities in Canada's Western Arctic. The first community he visited was Paulatuk. Located on the shores of Darnley Bay near the mouth of the Hornaday River, Paulatuk is 512 miles from Inuvik. Paulatuk has a population of approximately 325 residents, the majority of which are Inuvialuit. This picturesque community has been recognized for the unique artwork of its residents and is well known for the smoking hills near the hamlet.
Paulatuk was the first community that we visited, and we were met at the airport. And when I walked in the door, they were all clapping and shaking my hand, and the children wanted to see my hockey sticks. And we went over to the hockey rink and we were showing the kids some skating drills and some shooting drills, and to see the excitement and the knowledge of the National Hockey League players that are playing now, and the game itself and the history, and to see how educated they are in the NHL was very enjoyable for me, because it brought a new excitement for me, because I thought, well, I'd have to kind of spend some time talking about the NHL, but they all knew how many Stanley Cups I had won. A lot of their parents had watched me play, and it's tough for the children because none of the children had seen me play hockey. But when I got on the ice, it didn't matter. I was a National Hockey League player visiting them. I was a visitor. I was welcomed, and that was really fun in Paulatuck. I had a great time.
Holmen is located on Victoria Island on the shores of Kings Bay and Queens Bay. The residents of Holmen are descendants of the Copper Inuit. The people of this friendly community are well known for their incredible art, especially printmaking.
Well, Holmen was one of the coldest spots that we had visited. It was as far north as I'd ever been. I think it's on the 70th parallel. We talked to the children about education and the future and their dreams, and making sure that they stay committed and do what they have to do and be responsible and respect themselves and what their accomplishments are. And again, we enjoyed all the crafts of the area. There was some wonderful prints that we were able to enjoy, and I got to hunt a muskox, and I brought home the horns, and we took the meat and fed the elders, and I donated the hide to the 2 guides, and it was a wonderful experience. And again, we were out in the elements, and I was a little nervous going out there because I didn't know where I was, and I felt a little bit lost and a little bit intimidated by the surroundings and all the white, and I got disoriented a little bit. But the guides were fantastic. You come back and you say, wow, these guys have a unique way of life here in the Arctic.
Nestled on the shores of the Beaufort Sea, Tuk is 80 miles north of Inuvik. Tuk is well known for the ice core hills known as pingos that surround the community. The population is approximately 950.
Visiting Tuk was unique in the fact that we got to drive on the ice road for the first time from Inuvik up to Tuk. We had a wonderful feast. We visited the children again, and it was, I think, more excitement and more anticipation. A lot of questions, a lot of really good questions about my hockey career. There were a lot of people in the community. It was a larger community. I think it was like about 1,000 people in the community. So it was a much larger community. So there was more people that had seen hockey and watched me play. So that was a lot of fun. And again, another very good community that respected the elders. They have a great respect and pride about themselves, and it was a wonderful time. You wanted to stay longer in Tuk, so it was maybe a little too short in Tuk, but it was still a wonderful day.
Aklavik is 58 air kilometers west of Inuvik and is located on the Peel River just at the foot of the Richardson Mountains. Aklavik was once the regional center but was prone to flooding, so the government decided to build a brand new community of Inuvik in the 1950s. Most residents refused to move to Inuvik, thus the community motto was born. Aklavik's famous saying, "Never say die," can be seen throughout the community.
Then we visited the rec center, and we had a feast. We did some drum dancing, again like we did in all the communities. And we had a helicopter ride up into the mountains and saw the Black Mountain, and we saw some Dall sheep. There was a small herd of 6 that I could have reached out and touched in the helicopter. And then we saw a herd of about 25 muskox, and we saw some ptarmigan, and that was a wonderful little trip. And we came back, and again, it took me an hour and a half to unwind from all that excitement. And again, to see a community like Aklavik that takes great pride in traditions and their sports. There was lots of children playing street hockey when we drove into town, and even when we left at about 8 o'clock that night, the children were still back on the street playing street hockey. So it was wonderful to see the hockey atmosphere in Aklavik, because again, there was lots of people that enjoyed their sports, their nature, their music, and we shared a lot of that together.
We went to the arena and they had some hockey scrimmages, and Bryan Trottier had a chance to dance in every community where we had drum dances. So I think when he first got up in Holotuck, we were kind of surprised to see him go up and participate. And also our president, Ross McDonald, went up and drum danced with the people. So I think it was interesting for them, for the people that went to the reception, and to see the president and also our NHL hockey stars come in, drum dance with the people, and joined in the festivities. So.
Sax Harbor is located on Banks Island, 523 kilometers northeast of Inuvik. Home to approximately 130 people, Sax Harbor is well known for the abundance of white fox and the incredible numbers of muskox that live on Banks Island.
Well, Sax Harbor was as north in Canada, in the world, as I'd ever been. It was at 72nd parallel, so I was very excited about that trip. And to see, again, a very small community of 100+ people and how they make a life in real harsh conditions was fantastic. They somehow got their rec center, which had not been open for a long time. They used the fire truck to get the rink going. We had children that had not ever skated before, using equipment that had rust on it, and they would come out, and we had fun for almost 2 hours in -40-degree weather. And the kids were sweating, and they'd go in, warm up, I'd go in, warm up, come back out, and we played hockey, we passed the puck. I played goalie for a while, and they were scoring goals. They were very active there, very, very active group of people. Again, very friendly. We had a wonderful feast, good plane ride home, and it was just a wonderful experience all the way around.
During his tour of the ISR, Bryan Trottier was able to play some hockey.
Stick handle and shoot the puck is fun for even an old-timer like myself. Appreciate when they don't hit me, because I don't like being hit anymore. Because I play a different game. I don't play as aggressive as I used to, and I look to cheat a little bit on the offense, and I don't back check as hard as I used to.
Bryan visited as many schools as he could during the tour to bring a positive message to the youth of our region.
The children were wonderful. They were very attentive at all the schools. And I've been eagerly waiting to talk to all you children here at SAMS. Now, do you know that playing in the National Hockey League takes a very, very big commitment, and it takes a lot of practice, just like schoolwork. They were all wonderful. They were very attentive. They asked great questions. And, young lady, what's your question? Was I good in hockey? She wants to know if I was good in hockey. I scored 524 goals. I scored 1,400 points. That's 1,400 points. And I rank, of all the players that ever played in the National Hockey League, I think I'm somewhere around 20th overall in scoring points. So I was okay, pretty good. And I'm in the Hall of Fame. My message to them was one of dreams, have goals, and make a commitment to your school and your education. I really appreciated that opportunity to deliver that message. Team, and we had a dream, and my dream was to play in the National Hockey League. I'll bet you all you guys have dreams too. I'll bet you some of you have dreams about, oh, let's see, becoming a doctor. Let's see, does anybody want to be a doctor when they grow up? Does anybody want to help animals when they grow up? The athleticism of all these children is fantastic, because some of the children had never skated before, yet they would come on the ice and do their very best, and they were fantastic. They had great balance, great agility, and I encourage the kids to say, now you guys keep practicing, you never know, you might make the NHL like Jordan Tutu. Is to be proud of your heritage. The traditions and the things that we take great pride in as a people. Our native background, we have great love of nature and animals and sports and music and family and things like that, and take great pride in that, because those are the things that are in your blood and you can't help it. You know, we're wonderful athletes, we're wonderful musicians, and we're beautiful people, and just take great pride in that, because that's something that you'll carry with you no matter where you go. That's your heritage, and be proud of it.
That was our program for this week. Thank you for watching, SUAANGAN. We'll leave you now with some images of Bryan Trottier's tour of the Inuvialuit Settlement Region.